Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm extremely excited because I'll be leaving a review on Mystic Mountain. Now Mystic Mountain is a adventure park in Ocho Rios, St. Anne, Jamaica, and I went there on my birthday. That's last week Saturday. And guys, I think I need to leave a review. I need to leave my experience of Mystic Mountain, and you take what you want, and if you've been there you can always leave your comments down below and tell me if your experience was similar to mine or different or whatever. So I'm going to start from the very beginning, which is the parking lot. Got there, parking lot looked nice and well shaded, a lot of nice trees and ferns and spaces. No hassle, easy parking, and I got there really early. Why I did was because they actually said if you need a good ATV ride, they don't do it by reservation. It's first come, first serve. So I decided to get there from 9 o'clock in the morning. Was it 9 or 10? I think it was 10, yeah. I tried to get there for 10. Yeah, it was 10. So I got there really early because I wanted to be one of the first people to get there to do the ATV ride. Anyway, I got there and my hair was in some plaits. So I was pulling them out. So I gave my driver's license, because you have to have your driver's license if you want to do the ATV. But they needed to see my face. So I pulled out my hair, went over there, and they signed me up. They said that we should go take a Skyline tour. Is it Sky? I think that's what they call it, a Skyline. It's basically like it's like what do you call that thing? Give me a minute. Yeah guys, it's like a ski lift, but they don't do skiing in Jamaica. So I don't remember the name. I think it's called a Skyline. So it's like a ski lift, the same kind of mechanism, and it takes you from like point A to point B in the sky on a line, and you take it to the other side of the place, and that's where you have all the attractions. By the way, if you hear a sound in the background, it's because I'm doing laundry at the same time. It's Sunday and this is my laundry day, so I hope it's not disturbing the video. Anyway, got there and I went onto the lift. I was not anticipating that the sun would have been that much because I can't say hot because the sun always hot. But when I tell you, I was on the Skylift for around 20 minutes. So it's a 20-minute ride from point A to point B, and I had no sunblock on. And I'm a black girl, and when I tell you, you don't want to see my tan, because I had on this crop top, and it's two crop top thing, and you don't want to see the difference between here and here. It's a big difference. So the first tip I'd say is have your sunscreen or have an umbrella, because you're going to be on that Skylift in the hot sun going over, and you can't leave the Skylift. You can't jump out. You just have to take the sunburn. It was a really nice view though, because you could see the whole of Ocho Rios. You could see the beach, you could see the little boats out there, you can see a lot of stuff. So it was really nice, and then the greenery below, and the fruits on the trees. It was just a really nice view. But the sun, the sun was just terrible. Anyway, so it took about 15-20, call it 20 minutes. Honestly, I think it was more, because it stopped. It's like sometimes it would stop, and I guess it's because they have to put on people onto this lift, so it will stop and you'll just be you suspended in air, and the sun beating you bad. Got to the next side and went over to another booth, and said, we're here to do the ATV, blah blah blah. They're like, oh no, the ATV is not available today. I mean, remember they said that first come, first serve. This is the main reason I went to Mystic Mountain. They said that a resort booked out all the ATVs, and we can't use the ATVs. So this resort booked out the ATVs for their guests, and because of that, we can't do any ATV riding. It was a big, it made my day a little, bleaky since they said that, because I told you in the beginning, I love ATV rides. So anyway, I did not take that lightly. So, well, I'll get to that part. So of course I told her, well, you told us first come, first served, and so yeah, blah 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 blah. Anyways, I went to the bobsled after. I left her, went to the bobsled. Go into the line. They put me in a bobsled, and honestly, it was very fast. It was very thrilling. I mean, felt as though I was going to slide off of the rails, but it didn't last long. Actually, if I should be real, it probably lasted 2 minutes. The bobsled course lasted around 2 minutes. And then the other 2 minutes or 3 minutes were just them trying to retrieve you. So you're on the low, and then to get back to the top, you have to be sitting again in the sun with, well, no, you had a lot of trees, but you still, yeah. And the rail would just bring you to the top. So it wasn't a long ride. It was like 2 minutes tops, because I'm not counting the stopping and getting off of the bobsled as any kind of ride. So it's a 2 minute ride, and that was very disappointing to me. So I was disappointed because of the ATV, and then I was disappointed because of the short distance the bobsled went. Like, it was just too short of a ride. Anyway, ziplining was the other thing, and went over. The line was extremely long, even though it was that early. The workers were moving as quickly as I'd want them to. I mean, went there, some of the guys were sitting and talking, and I just didn't know what to do. And then at one point they would say group 6, group 5. I was not a part of any group, and it was just pure confusion. But they sorted themselves out and eventually gave me some gear to put on. Put on the gear. I was the second person to go on the zip line. I've done zip lines in other countries, and because I probably am comparing them, this zip line was really not that thrilling. It was safe though. I must say that it was very safe. I respect their precautionary method, and the guys there were very welcoming, and I think those were the only sets that were actually welcoming, the zip lining guys. That staff, yeah, they were very welcoming. It's about 5 different sections. So you would zip line to one part, and someone receives you. You zip line again, stop, someone receives you, and you do it like for 5 legs. So the zip lining was for 5 legs. But if you go with a big group, or they group everyone together, so I was a part of 3 different groups, so we had to wait an extremely long time to go again. Imagine I'm like the second person to take on these legs, so I'd go, and I'd have to wait on maybe 40 other persons to come behind me. So it's kind of long. It's not as if they split the group, it's just everyone together. So if it's 50 people, the first person has to wait until 50 people come across. And then it's sad because you have some people who they're afraid of heights, and they go there because they want to overcome the fear. So you have to wait for them to scream and to look at the distance and turn back and hesitate. And I mean, yeah. So that was another downside. But the guys were very jovial.
No, hold on. Hold on. No, hold on. Hold on. Jesus Christ, what's she treating? Oh, man. No, man.
Kind of made the weight.
Para.
Easier or a little more tolerable. we went on to the final leg of the zip lining. Was interesting because they had this swinging bridge, this wooden swinging bridge, but they have to hook you so that you don't topple over if it does swing and you fall over. Just to keep you safe, they hook you onto the line. Anyway, went over and they hooked me on went over on the swinging bridge, they hooked me and walked across, and then they hooked me onto a tree so I couldn't go anywhere, and then they bring over the next 50 people. So I was hooked onto a tree. No, I believe that they need to tell people to wait on them. There was this lady around her she seemed as if she was in her mid-50s. She didn't realize that someone needed to be there to hook her onto the line to cross the swinging bridge. So she crossed it without being hooked on. And people, I think they should have a sign to say, wait here until you get some assistance, because there's no sign. I knew about waiting because I heard the guy say, oh, don't cross the bridge. But not everyone understands English, and not everyone hears well. So there needs to be signs, to accommodate everybody. Anyway, she came over, the bridge didn't swing and topple her, throw her into the precipice, nor did a strong wind throw her into the precipice. Everything went well, incident free. Anyway, went over to the final leg and back to a Skylift again. Now this is the other downside. When you get onto the Skylift, it brings you back to the base, and then to get back to the top, you have to go on the 20-minute Skylift again. So you get off of the 5th leg of zip lining, and then you have to go down to the base and then back to the top. So it's a neck sunburn that. So anyway, get down to the base. I was asking the guys, like, do you have any refreshments, any water? No water. So I know I have to be in the hot sun, go back up, parched and hot. Yeah, parched and hot. Anyway, that was another torture. Went back to the top, and I decided to do the obstacle course. But before doing the obstacle course, I said, you know what, let's go eat. Went to the restaurant, bar and grill, and the place was open, like it was open. So I was making my way over to a table, like a vacant table. I went over to the table, and they were like, go and join the line. You have to join the line before you come to the table. So I am like, it's not like a restaurant where you have a stand and it says please wait to be seated, or it has someone there to greet you. The place is open, so they want you to assume that you should wait on them before you're seated, when it's a very casual place. Anyway, I decided not to confront that person. I went back to the front, and then the lady sent me back to the same table I went to. And when she sent me back to the table, the person who was cleaning said, I just said you should so of course I had to be like, you're not going to talk like this. You need to clean the place and give me. I'm not going to be in a back and forth. Of course it was attitude, and she cleaned up the place and she gave it to me. So I'm not into a lot of them stuff. Of course I saw tourists, different complexion than my skin. They just walked in, and I mean, they got tables. No one really challenged them. And I realized that this was the attitude. The minute I got to Mystic Mountain, like at the other side, I realized that was the attitude. It was more centered around tourists, or even if you are not, yeah, it's more centered around tourists. It's tourist centered. It's not a local. I didn't feel welcomed as a local. But that restaurant experience concretized my feelings. It made me realize that, okay, so it's not that I shouldn't have just look for a table and sit by the table, it's because that's not the problem. The problem is because I'm probably a local and you just believe that I should wait in line. Anyway, that was very off-putting. Of course, she didn't get any tips. And I guess because of the way I spoke to her, my food came very quickly because I was ready. I was really ready for her. Anyway, went to the obstacle course. I didn't realize that. So I went to the highest one. I did all this stuff. I have to be really pushed to be thrilled. I'm an adrenaline junkie. I have to be really pushed to be thrilled. So it was fun. It was a lot of exercise, but the thrilling part, I'd say 60%. 60 was still good, but not as how I'd want to scream, you know. After that, I went to do the rock climbing. Rock climbing was extremely fun. It was actually my first time rock climbing. It was really fun. Got to the top in less than 2 minutes? No, it was 1 minute something. Went to the top and kick off like a FBI and come down and drop on the ground because I didn't remember that I was supposed to keep my feet straight, so I bent my legs and drop on the ground. Anyway, got up. Yeah, the ATV part. No, I went to Ragamuffin. Ragamuffin is this ride that they have, a very tiny roller coaster. Again, because I'm probably comparing their roller coaster to other roller coasters I've experienced, but it's like they only can carry 2 people at a time. I see like 8 seats, but I've realized that they only carry 2 people. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because they have a weight limit, but anyway, I went on to it. But I was talking throughout the ride, and I think that indicated that the ride wasn't as thrilling. So I don't even remember. I remember the ride throwing me all around, but I was talking throughout the ride. So it's still, I wasn't that thrilled. Saw the guys at the ATV by the side. I came off of the ride. I went over there and I'm like, guys, I need to ride the ATV, because I was absolutely ignoring the lady at the front that told me it was booked for some resort people. So I went to them and I'm like, we need the ATV. They actually looked at my armband and and that's the other thing too. When you're talking to the staff there, they'll take you, you'll see them quickly look at your armband, and I believe that locals have a different armband from the tourists, but you have to upgrade your armband when you're there. So they looked at it and they're like, oh, the whole attitude changed, because I don't know if my armband just didn't have ATV written on it or whatever, but I realized the 2 guys looked quickly and they're like, oh, you have to talk to the girl at the front to get an upgrade. Like, who cares if I need to get an upgrade? No one cares. Like, it's not like you're going to cost that arm and a leg, you know. And what they did was they put 2 tourists onto the ATV, but they, of course, I tell you, they're tourist centered. They put 2 tourists onto the ATV. The other ATVs looked like they weren't serviced in years. So I don't think it's because anyone booked them, but the ATVs there are not up to par. It's not up to standard. So I left because I realized that, you know what, I'm not pushing this, and then I get some kind of dilapidated ATV that's going to throw me off and hurt me. Let me leave it. And good thing, because I heard some barrels rolling down a hill, and then I looked to see where the sound was coming from, and it was one of the tourists riding this ATV. Sounded like a barrel, like blah, 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 blah. Like, thank God I didn't do it. But just the attitude that they give you when you're local, it is just so off-putting. So the pool looked very good in pictures. I didn't like the pool in person. The infinity pool, everything, no, it just didn't look clean to me. It didn't look well kept. So I was not going to go into that pool. And then, it's just, I would say Mystic Mountain, if I should rate it, I would say the attraction for me that was extremely fun was maybe the obstacle course and rock climbing. Everything else, the staff's attitude was rotten, terrible, disgusting, apart from the Skyline staff. I mean, it's sad because as locals, I know that we tip very well. Well, I'm a local and I tip. There was one tourist that was in my group, and she was saying, "Oh, I'm going to give the guy," she said, yeah, you know how they speak, they're like, "I'm going to give the guy $5. I don't know how to speak like tourists. I don't know how to do the American accent, but they just said it's an American accent, so I picked up that they're Americans. She said she's going to give the guy $5, and then this other one is like, she's a tourist, she's an American citizen, but she has a lot of Jamaican roots because I could hear the Jamaican accent, and she's like, $5? Boy, you rich. They're not getting more than $2 out of me. $5 is a lot of money in Jamaica. Do you know much things I can buy with $5? At $2, them just want no say American money and them happy. And I was so offended because there's no way you could look at me and give me $2 if I was working there. $2. $2 can't, I can't think about something $2 can buy. Maybe a bottle of water? Maybe a bottle of water. But then at the same time, I was like, well, that's how they act. That's what they deserve, because at the end of the day, it's who they show these tourists all this attention for $1 or $2 or $5, and then you have Jamaicans like myself that will be giving you, like, if you equate the Jamaican money to American dollars, is double, sometimes triple, sometimes quadruple what they give. But what? Because it has a Jamaican sign on it. So I realized that a lot of thought isn't given, and I don't know if it's the accent that impresses some of our fellow Jamaicans, but I would say Mystic Mountain is not for locals. If you want to feel equal, you won't get it there. But you'll get away if you're a white Jamaican. You probably will get away. You just have to fix your accent. You can't sound Jamaican. So if you want good treatment, put on some other accent, but not a Jamaican accent. Don't talk Jamaican, don't talk patois, don't talk anything. Speak American and wear your best American attire. Then you'll get some kind of, good treatment. Locals, I would say no, let's not go there. Let's not go there. Yeah. And I don't know why I still tip them. But anyway, so that was my experience, and I would say out of 10, I'd give it, if I should give an overall count, I'd say a 5 out of 10. I'd give Mystic Mountain a 5 out of 10, and the 5 is just from rock climbing and the obstacle course. Yeah, even the food never nice, and I'm a foodie, and the food was not all that. No, it wasn't all that. So you should know. If it was all that, I would probably give them a 6. But so 5 out of 10 for Mystic Mountain, and my overall review is not for locals, but tourist centered. So if you live outside Jamaica and you need pampering and special attention, then come to Mystic Mountain. Thanks for watching, guys. Can you believe it that we are almost at 1,000 subscribers? I remember I was celebrating 100, so now when I know that it's almost 900 additional people on this channel, I have to say that it's just an amazing feeling. So thanks, guys. We're not there yet, we're almost there. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. Leave your comments down below. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe for more contents like these, and hit the bell to be notified as soon as I post another video. Thanks so much, guys, and see you in the next video, and I think you're going to enjoy it. Hasta la vista, babies. Nah.